Ravenswood, a town veiled in mist and secrets, a place where shadows stretched long even in daylight. The locals knew its stories, whispered them like warnings. And at the heart of it all stood WKRV, the radio station, its signal, a beacon, reaching out into the night. WKRV, a place of comfort for some, a source of news, a companion in the lonely hours. But the old building held secrets of its own. Whispers of strange occurrences, equipment malfunctions, a feeling of unseen eyes watching. The old DJs spoke of cold spots, dead air at odd hours, but no one paid much attention. Not until Matt came along. Matt, the new DJ, was full of enthusiasm, eager to make his mark. He dismissed the stories as local folklore, just old tales meant to spook the newcomers. He'd soon learn. The night started like any other. Matt settled in for his shift. The headphones felt cold against his ears. Then the whispers began, faint at first, barely audible beneath the music. He tried ignoring them, adjusting the dials. Nothing worked. The whispers persisted, growing louder, more insistent. He felt a cold dread creep up his spine. Something was wrong. The equipment started acting up, needles jumping erratically, lights flickering, the music warping and distorting. He tried to regain control, but the station had a life of its own. It was then he knew the stories were true. Panic clawed at Matt's throat. He had to get out, but something held him there. An unseen force compelling him to stay. He noticed a door, hidden in the shadows of the studio. It was locked. He searched frantically for a key, found it on an old tarnished ring. The door creaked open, revealing a dusty room, a time capsule from the station's past, and in the center, a table. Upon it, a reel-to-reel tape recorder, covered in dust and cobwebs. A single reel was loaded. A faded label read, "Do not play." The words seemed to pulsate, daring him. Curiosity warred with fear. He knew he shouldn't, but something drew him in, a need to understand, to face the darkness that had gripped Ravenswood for so long. He reached for the tape. Section 4, Unleashing the Voice from Within. The tape felt cold in his hands, unnatural. He loaded it onto the machine. His hand trembled as he pressed play. Static crackled through the speakers. Then silence. He waited. Suddenly a voice, deep, guttural, dripping with malice. It spoke of ancient evils, of forgotten rituals, of a town ripe for the taking. Matt tried to stop the tape, but the machine wouldn't respond. He felt a sharp pain in his head. The voice seeped into his mind, twisted his thoughts. He was losing control. The broadcast continued, reaching out through the airwaves, invading every home in Ravenswood. The townsfolk listened in horror. The voice wormed its way into their minds, planting seeds of paranoia, turning neighbor against neighbor. Madness spread like wildfire. Section 5. The silence that followed. Matt, his mind shattered, could only watch in terror. He had become a conduit for the evil. The voice grew stronger. The room pulsed with unseen energy. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. Silence. The tape snapped. The machine whirred to a halt. Matt collapsed, the weight of his actions crushing him. He had unleashed something terrible. He stumbled out of the station, into the cold, unforgiving night. The town was silent, the air thick with a palpable dread. The evil had taken root. The next day, WKRV remained silent. Its once familiar hum replaced by an eerie quiet. The townsfolk were gone, their fates unknown. Ravenswood had become a ghost town. Section 6. A legacy of static and shadows. Some say Matt wanders the deserted streets, haunted by the voice and its consequences. Others believe the evil is gone, but the silence is a lie. For those who listen closely, on a frequency lost to time, you can still hear it. The faintest whisper, waiting for a new town, a new voice. The broadcast continues and the cycle begins anew. Remember this, as you tune your radios late at night, beware the static, for it may hold more than just interference. It might hold the echoes of Ravenswood, and the chilling reminder that some stories never truly end. They merely wait, in the spaces between the frequencies, for a chance to be told again.